What's up, people? It's Carolina Calvin, and I want to kind of change things up. I want to talk about a TV show, and it's about the episode of Family Guy that came on Sunday, which was November 24th. Major spoilers alert. So if you haven't seen the episode or haven't read any of the news, which I would be surprised if you haven't, there will be, there will be spoilers to pretty much how the episode went. Um, that was one really big thing that happened in the episode. So if you haven't watched the episode or read anything about it, please go watch the episode first, then come back here. Um, okay, now I'm not sure if this was rumored beforehand of this actually happening in this episode. The episode was titled "Life of Brian." Now everybody knows who Brian is. Brian is the dog in the Griffin family. He's been there since day one. He's usually been, it first started out as him being the voice of reason. Um, it really started with him, Peter being you know, the dumb father. And then it was Brian, who was more the smarter dog, who, as I said, was the voice of reason. But let me get into what actually, I'm not gonna talk about the entire episode, but I'm gonna talk about just exactly what happened, because a Family Guy episode really not really nothing that really goes on that you could say. Um, well, a Family Guy really doesn't have a story. Let's just say it's just random stuff, flashbacks, a lot of parody of a lot of things. That's mainly how Family Guy episodes go. Um, but in this episode, Brian got pretty essentially killed off. Of course, he got hit. He got hit by a car. Stewie couldn't save him. Something happened to his time machine and broke, and he couldn't, build another one. So this was Seth MacFarlane's way of killing off a major character. They claim it's to change things up, but based on what I seen on forums or any other websites talking about this particular thing, it's not going over well. People are pissed. Then they replace him with a stupid. They replace him essentially with another pet, and Vinny. Vinny. They replacing him with Vinny. Now, if you haven't heard how Vinny sounds, or as soon as you hear and see this dog, you immediately want Brian back. Now I understand, they were trying to change things up, but there are a lot of other things that could have possibly went into this episode that I've heard rumors that MacFarlane wanted to kill the show, but I believe they in some kind of contractual agreement with Fox, so he can't end the show, have like a season finale. So what he did was he killed off an important character that's been there since day one to drop the ratings. As you see, it probably will work. People probably won't watch it as much. People still watch it, but not as much. So I'm assuming hopefully that is not the case, that he's trying to do that. Um, of course he still has American Dad going on. I guess he wants to focus on that show. I really don't know. I'm not in the man's head. Don't know what he really wants to do. Um, what else did I want to talk about? Also on that note, the whole Brian thing, them fucking it up, and it has to be something that he wants to kill the show, because you don't make a big change like that. Honestly, what I thought they were gonna do, after the Cleveland show, of course, left and everything, I thought they were gonna I apologize, my nose stopped up. I thought they were gonna bring back Cleveland and have him move into his old house and bring his family. Kind of combine the shows. That way you bring Cleveland back, you know, and I think he was pretty good in the Family Guy show. So I thought they were gonna do that. They never did. I don't know if they're gonna do anything like that in the future. But it would have been something nice if they would actually did that. Um, But, the show, honestly, I haven't been watching it much. I did go back and watch this episode. I did not watch it Sunday night. Of course, the football game was on. I was watching that. Um, but after hearing about this, because I actually read spoilers, because I really didn't care. I was gonna go back and watch the episode anyway, just to see exactly how it went. But I really don't like the change. I'm with a good percentage of the people who said who protested against this. I really don't like what they did with this episode. Um, but really, what I want to talk about is the direction that Family Guy was going in anyway. Okay, the show originally started out. I really love the show. It started out more so of a it actually felt like they were actual family. Wasn't as many flashbacks. There were some, of course, but some of the character personalities were changed. Lois was more of the loving housewife. Peter, of course, he didn't change. He was still a moron. Meg wasn't more so of a punching bag. Um, you know, let's see. Chris pretty much stayed the same. Um, Brian was more of the voice of reason, and then more so than he was now. Then, you know, later on he became really, kind of a douche. He was still the voice of reason, but you could tell that they changed his character. You really just have to see, the transition between the earlier seasons to the later seasons up to now. Stewie had the biggest change out of all the characters. When it first started, Stewie was he was the evil baby who wanted to take over the world, um, by pretty much by any means necessary. He had weapons. He was pretty much pure evil, and completely changed his character. They completely changed his character, made it to where he was more so of a. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't say nothing like that, but that's what that's pretty much what they changed his character to be. They took away, him being the evil baby that wanted to take over the world. They completely changed that, and he became, you just have to see it. You just have to see it. And I really don't like what they did with that. I really don't like that change. I started to watch less and less after the change. They still have some really, really good episodes that I still watch, but the last two seasons haven't been watching religiously. I have up to season 5. I have that on DVD. And as we all know, the series started off really good. So good that Fox dropped them. Fox dropped them. Adult Swim, I believe Adult Swim picked them up later. No. The DVD sales and the rerun shown on Adult Swim brought the series back. It's one of the first series to ever be brought back because of DVD sales. Of course, you had people petitioning to bring it back. The old reruns that were shown on Adult Swim, that really brought it back. And Fox had no choice but to bring it back because they knew it was going to draw heavy ratings, in which it did. But of course, the show has changed. More people have been drawn more so to American Dad, and you can tell the focus is going more so on American Dad. But this episode, as negative, the negative light that it's being shown in, I guess good, negative press is press nonetheless. I mean that's pretty much what they got with this, this episode, because Family Guy wasn't really talked about as much as it used to, but with this episode, it was a lot talked about, and of course people are petitioning to bring Brian back, especially after seeing the other dog. But I pretty much done said what I wanted to say. I really think they need to change it, bring Brian back, but we don't know what they're gonna do. Family Guy necessarily does not have a storyline, so it can be pretty erratic. Next episode, they can use a magical wizard to, resurrect them from the dead, or shit. They can bring back death. They can use death to bring them back. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens on the next episode. or what they plan on doing in the future. But as it currently stands, they need to bring him back, or you know, it's it's gonna hurt the ratings of the show. And Fox, if the ratings get hurt too bad, Fox will end up, worst case scenario, dropping them. But let me know what you think down there. Do you think it's a good idea to kill off Brian? Do you think it's a bad idea? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I think it's the stupidest fucking idea ever to kill off a major character like that. Of course, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.